All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down and do a video for you guys and gals. I got protein shake. So I'm going to sip on through this. It's going to be pretty much my last meal of the day. So, yeah, I saw the vlog this morning. I took yesterday off from training, had all my holiday feast. I only gained a pound. I gained 1 pound from it. Again, the beauty of going in fasted and then not necessarily just, gorging yourself to death helps. But the thing is, what we're going to talk about here is going to be taking those feasts and then turning it into good workout sessions. A lot of times people ask these questions like, well, Jason, I ate a lot on my holiday. It's like, well, I'll tell you guys how to prepare for that, right? So I've taught you in videos how to keep it reeled in and still enjoy yourself, still enjoy all the treat foods and everything on those days. And people have this idea that, oh, then I need to do something crazy and dramatic to compensate for it. Right? That's a terrible mindset. Like, look, you went in, you enjoyed your feast, you should have full glycogen stores, right? You should be feeling good. You probably recovered. You had a good, relaxing time with friends and family. Now go in and train. Right? Go in and get a good workout. Like, don't even be like, oh, I need to burn through the calories. No, man, get under some heavy weight. So like in my case, what did I have back in bicep day? My biceps need to come up. So I went hard. Like I went heavy on everything. I'm like, I got all this training fuel. Let's do nothing but like 6 and 7 rep sets for my lats. Took away to normally do 5 to 6 reps, and I got 6 to 7 with and weighted pull-ups. Did my rows. I increased the weight on my seal rows, increased the weight on my one-arm dumbbell rows. And then I did 12 really hard, high-quality, full range of motion sets for biceps. That's how it works. What also really works on a day like that? If your training rotation allows for it, come and hit some great deadlifts, some squats. I did deadlifts the day before, and I did a fair chunk of deadlift volume, right? I did triple with 550, then I did some work sets with 500 the day before. Create the need for that food, man. Create the need for it. So then when you go in, your body is more likely to, turn it into a bit of muscle mass, turn it into some recovery. And then the same thing, you got training fuel the next day. Came in, actually, I looked pretty decent, all things considered today. Of course, I'm cutting my carbs back again at this point, tighten everything up around the waistline. But yeah, put those feasts to good use, guys. Put them to good use. It's the way forward. You take it in a positive direction. Again, I'm going to link the Facebook page for everybody. You guys will follow me there. It'd be appreciated. But, we spin this stuff into a positive, constructive direction. All right, that's the way to go. Not this binge and purge mindset, right? Because you're taking something positive, time with friends and family, loved ones, at those meaningful things. And then you don't want to turn it into something negative, turn it into something positive and constructive. So, you had a couple pieces of pie, you ate some candy, all right? Well, you should be ready to train the next day. Like, view it as not something you have to burn off. Use it as something that you can utilize as an effective tool to benefit you. That's training fuel. You should have one hell of a workout the next day or the next couple days. I'm hoping to have a really good squat session tomorrow because I slept really hard after I got done with everything for the day. I didn't even get to training until like 8:30, right? Had a good night's sleep, got rested up, right? Make everything good. So again, that's my advice for this. Get in and get some good workouts. Like if you guys had a holiday feast, you should be ready for a couple of really good workouts the next couple of days. They sat and have such great stuff. All right, let's see if we can get some conversations or questions here. Hey, Satnav, if you toss me a like too, man, those likes actually get other people in here. So that's what kicks it into more people's algorithms, right? It gets into their feed based on what you guys are doing. So if you toss that in, it would be greatly. Thank you. Appreciate it. Get a couple more of those. Yeah, let's get some questions and comments. I'm hoping for a nice, lively, productive. Yeah, absolutely. Holidays may be a little slower over the holidays. Yeah, all my views and stuff tend to go down a little over the holidays. Everything does. Everything does. Hey, Satnav, do you use Facebook at all? If you would, if you hop over and give me some engagements there. They've been super slow this week on the holidays, like shocking. Yeah, if you'd hop in there, man, I'd appreciate it, dude. On the link there. Toss a brother a few likes, questions down the road. It'd be greatly appreciated. Sorry, I've got a little bit nasally from whatever my protein shake. Try to do that quiet. There we go. Right. Yeah, man, I've had a heck of a few months. It's been one of those years. But gains are good. Life is doing decent, all things considered. It's going to grind, though, more gains and try to push business back up. That's going to be my thing here now. I'm going to try to push hard going into the new year. Hopefully get some New Year's resolution clients. Yeah. What's all this nonsense? Yeah, setting out. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. You know, it's always ridiculous. We get to a point, you know, so funny to me, man, is been interesting as my physique has changed. I get haters who are sitting here calling me fat and stuff. There's a point where you delusional guys, you got to clown on me. Literally at my age, when I go into anywhere, it's like, I'll just be very, very simple. Pretty much people think I'm a comic book character. So it's just funny seeing these responses on the internet. You guys live in your own world. Oh, man. ITML. Hey, Jason, Merry Christmas. Hey, man, Merry Christmas to you too, brother. That says, I see some taking the gym off over the Christmas. Seems like that's a big mistake. That is a big, big mistake. People taking time off over the holidays from their training. That is a bad idea. It's just a terrible precedent. That's how you know those are the same people who are not serious about their goals. You know, they didn't say later, I don't know why I spin my wheels. I don't know why I can't bench 300 pounds. Why are you telling us we should all bench 300 and deadlift 500? That's unrealistic. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe you guys quit taking a whole week or two off from training every time you go on vacation or a holiday comes around. Maybe you would deadlift 500 pounds. Go on vacation, you know, there are gyms in other cities and places. They exist. So then that was my point to people, you know, if it's not important to you, just say it's not important to you. You know, that's okay. It's okay for a person to admit they don't give a single flying fuck about their fitness goals, but just admit it. But don't complain when you don't reach your goals later. You're like, I'll take a whole week off for Christmas. You know? I mean, it's like, seriously, no, that's why you guys think a 300 bench and a 500 deadlift is some difficult goal to achieve, because you take a week off for Christmas or every time you go on vacation. That's pretty obvious you're not actually serious. So of course you're not going to reach any goals. You don't take any of it seriously, you know. But exactly like you said, Satnav, that holiday food, that is training fuel. Like that is some gains ready to happen. Pepper says, is there much difference squatting really wide versus shoulder stance for muscle growth? Yeah, I mean, in theory, you know, honestly, we could argue about it all day long. Pepper. We could argue about it all day long. Greg, I'm not going to go into what my family got me for Christmas. It was very sentimental stuff. Right? I got like some original pictures and things, like an original print of some loved ones and stuff. Right? So, yeah, absolutely. Abby, happy holidays, checking in from my flight currently in air, how to optimize vascularity. Yeah, he wanted me to do a video on that. Honestly, Abby, I'm really going to say it's just purely a matter of hydration and leanness. Like right now, I haven't, all the sodium and stuff hasn't hit me hard, potassium from my food this afternoon, so I'm not really crazy vascular, but I was the other day after. But honestly, just get low, lean, get your body fat low. Like, notice I'm not vascular all across my chest and everything, but I am where I'm the leanest, right? Anywhere you're lean. So if a guy's like, I'm super lean and I don't have veins, and you're not as lean as you think you are. You're just not, at least not in those areas of your body. Greg says, I love the business podcast. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, we had fun doing it. We're going to do some more. Peter's been a long time follower. So, like, he's followed my stuff for, like he said, a decade or more. So he's an OG follower. He's watched all the trials and tribulations. So he's one of those people he saw all the craziness, all the drama, all the other stuff. Like, he's been a follower all that time. So he's kind of aware, Do I like sweet potatoes? No, I eat sweet potatoes when I'm doing a lot of carbs because of they're just a good carb source, but I don't particularly enjoy them. No. What's your current eating window look like? I have a protein shake immediately post workout, but otherwise I only eat, about noon to 6 o'clock. The only exception is if I'm doing something social or I'm out, I'll eat another meal those days. Right, but it'll be very, very, very clean, like steak and vegetables type stuff. Adam says, Merry Christmas, Coach. How many calories did you consume for extra lunch? I didn't track anything. No, I gained 1 pound. No, I went hard, but I got home. I had a couple protein shakes. So right before bed, I had about 50 grams of protein from a shake. But no, I went hard, dude. Now, did I eat a lot of turkey and potatoes and things? Yes. But I had a slice of pie. I had a lunch of chips and queso. I had some chocolate candies, some other stuff. I had I probably had 6 or 7 chocolate chip cookies. I actually ate, a bit of junk. It's my first time eating any refined sugar like that in months and months. But yeah, I didn't really keep it super in check, but I bet I probably had 4,000 calories ballpark. But I eat 3,500 plus anyways. So I gained 1 pound. 1 pound. Pepper says, can you still go massive squatting really well? Yeah, of course. Hey, Greg, I'm not going to go into all that. Actually, I spent the day yesterday, my big gathering was with actually all my Hispanic family. Which, the internet's unaware of that. They're unaware that I have a whole big chunk of my family and half of them are Hispanic. And you know what? I'm good. So it's kind of weird that people say stuff about me like that I don't like that group. It's like literally do no, but a bunch of my family are. Great. See, one of my cousins, and that she has a really big whole extended family, right? She married a Hispanic man back when I was a teenager. So no, I'm not Hispanic. But so then accordingly, I go to family gatherings and I have a bunch of family who are Hispanic, right? That's kind of how it works. They're my family, dude, right? It's that simple. See, that's how family works, dude. I speak just a little bit of Spanish, but no, I'm not Hispanic at all personally, but I've got a bunch of family who are. Enjoy yourself on holidays, guys. You can always get back to track. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just fast going in. That's probably my fan. I tried to turn it down. It's being loud. Adam, you act like everyone doesn't know me, and they weren't used to my other cousin before he passed there. He was jacked also and deadlifted over 600 pounds. He was a ranger for 20 years, but he passed a year and a half ago. So yeah, I mean, they're all used to this. This is normal. Does dairy-free milk yogurt still just as healthy as normal milk/yogurt? No. I mean, you're not going to get the benefits of those things you're going to get from dairy, dude. Like dairy is almost magical for athletes. I mean, we've covered this over and over and over. I mean, there can be some beneficial stuff to soy milk, but those other things definitely are useless. I don't know why people drink them, the oat milk and stuff. It seems like a waste. But dairy itself is amazing. Like even the soy milk doesn't compete with true dairy in terms of anabolic benefits, body composition stuff, not even close. Luke, there's probably 10,000 amazing barbecue places in Texas, right? So that's kind of a strange question. I mean, there's one on every corner. We're kind of known for having the best barbecue in the world. Everybody knows this. And anyone who argues, I don't have a favorite. I've had so many that are good, I couldn't narrow it down to 20. No, Adam, I don't coach any of my family members. Hey, Greg, it wasn't that type of party. It was a family gathering, And every single person brought a date. Every single person there who was unmarried. So that's not, yeah. Luke, why wouldn't they? Dude, that seems like a weird question. I don't. Why would you think they don't celebrate it the same here in Texas? That's just, I don't know. That seems like a bizarre question to me. Yeah. Yeah, but you're talking Texas. Okay. Say a pickup line in Spanish. Well, the Hispanic dudes I used to supervise used to lovingly call me pinche gringo cabrón all the time. So I'm assuming that it's a term of endearment. All right. Well, I appreciate the donation. Do you not know what the term, Greg, do you not know what the term supervise means? Like in a company that you work for a living? Abby says correlates between strength levels in the big three and certain personality traits. I don't know about that, Abby. Is the hammer wrist position on tricep press downs inferior like the hammer? No, because there's how to explain this? No, there's really only one muscle really involved with that extension. It's going to be your tricep. Whereas when you start adjusting supination versus pronation on the flexors, remember you've got the brachialis under here, right? The separate muscle. It gets more involved the more pronation you have, and then you have stuff like the radial brachialis and stuff. Whereas then on the triceps, none of that, it doesn't matter to the same degree, right? It doesn't matter to the same degree. So no, it's still going to be primarily almost exclusively tricep. Could we argue maybe ratios of lateral to medial head could be a little different with different hand positions? Maybe. But again, it's not going to be a major. It's not going to be the difference you're going to see with, flexors. Right? Who's this message? I love this bro. Who's sending me stuff on Messenger? I didn't see it pop up. I'm not interested in Hatfield squats. I mean, I know a lot of people like them. If you enjoy them, go for it. I don't ever program them. I think you run into a case if it's hard to assess progression on them. Hey, Greg, you already know the answer to this. Well, Luke, I have a best bro. All right. I have a best bro still at the age of 48. I have a lot of good bros, Bill. I have one best bro. Yeah. Nope. I'm not in contact with anybody I went to elementary school with because I went to a couple different schools later. All right. So I met my best bro my senior year in high school. Senior year in high school. And that whole circle led to still my current best whole big networking circle in real life. Right? Yeah, that is a long time. 30 years. 30 years. Yep. And that set of friendships pretty much has led to a lot of my closest friends still today. What do you mean? I have friends from that same circle of friends who I've known since that time period, who I still hang out with, who I still talk to, both men and women, both. Right? So, is what it is. Chet said, I just checked out your podcast. The other one I just did with Peter. Yeah, that's fine. Probably going to do more. I'm working on some other ones and some other people coming up here too. Hey, Adam, I linked it in the community tab. You incorporate cheese into your daily diet? Yeah, pretty regularly. When I do lower carbs, I do a lot of cheese. Tasting you're going to see tons of it on my Facebook, man. Follow me on Facebook. I put up meals all the time. Hey, chat, and you doing that is going to direct traffic to them, so you're a troll. So bye. All right. See, that's how people try to direct traffic towards people hating on me. You get rid of them. Luke said, I've heard multiple people say oats are bad for you. What is their reason for that? Like why would you think that that's reasonable, Luke? I mean, does that seem reasonable to you? Do you know any registered dietitians or sports dietitians who tell you that? Or is it just some weirdos? Meaning people who are really fringe diet people. So because you say I've heard multiple people, right? I mean, I've heard multiple people say the earth is flat. Does that mean that you would give it credence? See where I'm going with this? So look at the sources you're getting this from. Are these people who coach champions or who are amazing dietitians, or are these fringe quack people who are promoting extreme weird fad diets, like telling you vegetables are bad for you, fiber is bad for you, like these sort of clowns, right? Objectively, provably false statements that no sane person, no, carnivores are insane. Okay, everyone who's promoting a carnivore diet is literally batshit insane. All of them. No reasonable person would even consider such a diet. Like how do I put it? Anyone who could be convinced to try a carnivore diet is either, again, functioning at a low level cognitively, not all, or there's something really mentally wrong that they need to resolve in terms of their relationships with food and information, right? Because it's not like a normal, healthy response that you would have if someone discusses it, right? It's a very, very fringe, extreme thing that is easily debunked, right? So usually the people who get roped into it are people with certain personality disorders, or people who are on the extreme fringes of conspiracy theories that think everything is a conspiracy. Or it's just people who are really, really dumb and gullible. So generally speaking, like it's not a reasonable thing for someone to hear about the carnivore diet or the people espousing it and to say, yeah, this sounds like a good idea. There's a major something happening wrong with their critical thinking at that point. And I'm just going to call it like it is. Thoughts on Alexi and I going vegan? I think that's a bad idea. Why would animal products be useless for training? Given the protein quality, given even the most recent big study they did on muscle growth in women who were switched over to a balanced vegan diet, who are experienced lifters, what happened in that study? Casing depends on, honestly, preference, what I want to spend that week on food. I mean, it's like most people, I don't have an unlimited food budget, you know. I don't necessarily want to be spending, $10 every day on steak or $20 a day on steak. It's just one of my food sources. So, it depends on what's going on as far as pricing. I mean, I have a budget that I try to stay within like everybody else for food. So that's always a factor. But preference too. All right. Luke, I did for a little while, but I quit doing that. That's been a long time, Luke. I mean, it's been a while, right? That's been a while. I mean, I've been putting up a lot of meat for a long time on social media. Like, you've got to be aware of that. If you follow me, you have to be aware of that. But I don't follow either approach. I don't think vegan or carnivore is wise. Do I think for overall health, a very heavily plant-based diet can be great? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. Do I think that for optimizing body composition and muscle, that's a good idea? No, not necessarily. I think putting a heavy focus on animal proteins is wise in that context, even if it's not going to be ideal for optimizing health and longevity. It will optimize body composition. So now, what do you think of starting from the knees on the list? What? I don't know what I think about that. I don't see the point. IT, if I had to choose one for extreme, I think vegan is better than carnivore for long term. Well, probably so. Right? I would agree with that, but I still wouldn't recommend it. But I mean, if a person were hypothetically forced to choose between two stupid extremes, which I don't know why they would have to do that, right? But so it's kind of like, I mean, why would you do that though? It's like it's almost when people bring up these things, and I don't mean it's as extreme or as bad as this, okay? But it's kind of like when it would be with some of these hypotheticals, people point out, well, which would be better or worse? I'm like, well, I don't know, if you were forced to do heroin or forced to do cocaine, which one would be worse? It's like, but you're not forced to do either. You can be perfectly healthy. You can choose to do neither one. And again, I'm only giving that in hyperbole. I don't mean that literally, that either one of them are as bad as that. So please don't take it that way. But you understand the context. A person could say, yeah, but I don't have to choose either one of these crazy, potentially unhealthy extremes. There's no need. I could just not do that at all. Casing, why are we worried about short-term spikes in a fasted condition? Why aren't we worried about improving insulin control, improving glucose response in general? I think people are getting way too caught up in stuff like that. So again, you're talking about these diabetic tests going from a fasted state, potentially for people with their own set of glucose issues. Whereas in people who are healthy and fit and athletic and have good insulin responses, do you necessarily see those things? I feel almost like some of these topics, it's like, hey, if a person's going to be sedentary and fat, what's the least damaging thing we can do to them? But it's kind of like these other extremes. How about we just not be sedentary and fat? Then we're not standing around worrying about some of these same acute responses. Right? Because are you going to have these sort of problems if you're athletic and fit with a lot of muscle and a very, very good insulin sensitivity? Are you really going to be as concerned with these things? Did you see the obese rapper who needed oxygen tank on stage? No. Will strength gains be lower if we're going for strictly lean gains? Yes, it will, Jalen. But here's my question. Does it matter? Because I've discussed this in detail, and I've seen other coaches discuss this in vast detail. Okay. If the muscle gains are the same, and they will be, by the way, that's provable. The muscle gains are the same. Do you care if you're not getting the same leverages from the bloat and the boof and the extra fat? Like, is it really a loss that you're not getting the leverage advantage? Unless you were pursuing absolute strength in powerlifting in an open-ended weight class, or is it a big deal? Meaning you're going to lose those leverages if you diet the fat off later. Because the fat itself creates extra leverages. Okay, so what happens if you lose that fat and you just keep the muscle that you gained from all of it? Well, the strength still goes down. Can I eat 200 grams of protein while cutting, or will I be in a surplus automatically? What? Why would you be in a surplus automatically? Do you think forearm training has a place for maintaining elbow health, healthy elbows? I don't know about healthy elbows, but possibly. What's the ideal body fat range for optimal health? For men, probably in that 10 to 15%, 10 to 14%, probably about optimal. The Marauder, if you're not competing, not worth it. Well, Marauder, let's factor weight class in. What if you're competing, but you're in a moderate weight class? Do you really want to be fatter than the other guys in your weight class? It's not going to end well. It's the best sources of omega-3 to supplement it. I mean, I guess otherwise maybe walnuts and things. I'm not going to break down all my goals for 2025. Get leaner, get more jacked. I want a 315 incline. I don't know. Get stronger in general. Bring my arms and delts up. Get leaner. Get tighter in the waistline. Is protein the main driver of muscle growth besides lifting itself? To some extent, yeah. I don't know anything about that particular cryptocurrency, Jelena. I have no clue. None at all. So I don't have thoughts on it, since I've never thought about it. And I think I might have seen it somewhere, like in like my Bitcoin wallet or whatever. I've never looked into it. Will I get more gains from jacking up protein during a cut? Potentially. Business, financial goals. Not going to give anybody that info. Jason, have you been gaining strength? If you've been watching the vlog, my strength has been going back up, hasn't it? I mean, it's all documented. No, I'm not a crypto bro, guys. I do a little bit of client stuff in crypto, but I'm not like a big crypto guy. Like, I accept Bitcoin from clients as payment. But I have very, very few who do it. If I overbulk gaining muscle during the process, so yeah, you're going to need to. Do you accept donations in Bitcoin? Maybe, Luke, if it doesn't look like a fake account trying to contact me. But yeah, if it's a real profile and not some troll, yeah, I'd obviously accept Bitcoin donations. Let's send you my wallet. I'm not going to put my whole thing here. You can message me on my social medias though. Yeah, there's no harm in sharing all this. It should be fine. But I don't want to waste time with someone who's just like a fake profile, because they're just going to spam me back with a bunch of crazy stuff. Like, they're going to send me back a page of just crazy, kooky troll stuff when I message them. So that's why. Just make sure it looks like a real profile. Best pre-workout on the market, coffee. Jason, will you be doing a bodybuilding show soon? Nope. You could do it in YouTube description, I guess, in theory. They can't. Yeah, I'm aware of that. But my thing is the nonsense. What omega-3 supplements should you recommend? I take extra strength fish oil. Casing, I actually literally use the one that's in my Amazon wish list. In fact, that's what I buy normally, and someone actually bought me one already. Is it good? I've got 3 tubs of it in my freezer, but I'll use it all eventually. Leaner giver, I don't know. Maybe. Not currently in the works. Not really high on my list of priorities at the moment. Should I cut if I overbulk or keep going till I hit my strength goals? I feel like I'm becoming skinny fat despite strength gains and bench and overhead press. Yeah, dude, you need to cut, man. If you got sloppy and fat, then cut. Can bad overhead press form cause low back pains? Yeah. Having a weak low back will cause it too on overhead press. Get your good mornings in or reverse hyper up. Problem solved. That's what I would recommend. I'm not getting sleepy. I got a good night's sleep. I got a ton of work left to do. I can't do all that. A long day yesterday. And the holidays, man. Yep. Oh, Steven, I guess that's you that went down and liked all my stuff on Facebook. Appreciate it, man. I've heard putting fish oil in the freezer. Yeah, that's what I do. It keeps it from going rancid. And it also helps with the fish burps. I've known this for like 20 years, dude. It's been a thing a long time. Yeah, fish oil goes off. Yeah, it does. Yeah, put it in the freezer, man. Or carbs or protein. I mean, Jelena, that's a nuanced topic. Yeah, my neck has been, I've had a lot of some neck problems from sleeping bad on it, off and on. And the neck training has helped, but it hasn't completely fixed it. Dude, it happens to every, welcome to being in your 40s. It's like you can be crazy strong, you can be jacked, but you sleep on your neck wrong one time and it's like messed up for 6 weeks. It's just the way that it is, man. It's gotten up 95% better, but it's still just a little bit like a crick. You know, just have to pop it and then it pops into place and then you're good. Do you ever have back pain after squats and deadlifts? Nope. Nope. Jolena, I have a whole channel dedicated to how to get strong and jacked and lean. It's called Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness. I have over 10,000 videos on it. Kennebody says you will hurt back in the future when older if you squat and deadlifts. Well, to my response to that, what have you seen me do in the last week? You just saw me do this last week. I did what? I did a 550 deadlift for 3 reps. Didn't even grind the 3rd rep. You saw me do a 500 box squat on a 12-inch box last Friday. Did you not? I'm 48 years old. I don't have any back pain. So how much older do I need to be for this to occur? Because the answer is clearly not 48. So ask Kennebody, how old does he mean? 50, 60, 70, 112? When does this occur? Or is this his excuse for being weak? Does he use that as a cope to say, you know, I'm just going to be weak and I'm not going to train these big lifts and I'm going to make an excuse like, you know, back will hurt when you get a little older if you do these. That's why I don't do them. No, man, just admit you okay with being weak and you're lazy. I mean, that's straightforward, guys. Just admit it. Like there's no need to front about it. To be honest. I mean, I'm honest about certain things and I don't care about a whole heck of a lot. Hey, Jason, do you care about your run times? No, I don't give a shit. Do I think if I worked on my 5K that my knees would just be destroyed and fall apart? No. Now, I'm not going to do a bunch of weighted running with a weight vest on. Yeah, that would probably do it. No, I don't think preparing for a 5K would destroy my knees. But I also just literally don't care. See how easy it is to say, I just really don't care. Don't make excuses about it. How much do you charge for the accountability? I do that with Abby. I do $100 a month just for the accountability. He's like, it's like, sell pussy. They might, I don't know. I don't really know that for a fact. He's got a good business. He doesn't have to do that. He's got a successful business. Chris says, am I coming through now? Yeah, you must have typed something to hit the filter. Probably what you did. It's okay. Do you have to be really strong to look good? Not necessarily. It could help. They're also not mutually exclusive. It also depends. I see people who look good, but how good do they really look? I mean, how are you defining as looking good? Like they're lean and they have abs, or do you mean they've got a thick, dense musculature? Because they're not the same thing. Luke, I have no real current plans. I got an injured rubber belt for Christmas. Nice. That's a good Christmas gift. Yeah, the Marauders, it depends on what looks good to you. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Jelena, I already told you if you overbulk, then cut down and don't overbulk again. And if you look fat, then you need to get lean and then lean bulk. It's pretty straightforward to quit overbulking. Like, if you followed my advice, you wouldn't be doing that. So you made a mistake, fix it, and restart over. What are your thoughts on pre-fatigue and before you hit? I think that's a really, really bad idea. Well, Zelina, I guess you've got a problem then, don't you? Hey, you made a mistake. You're going to have to pay a price for it. So pay the price and then move forward. It's very simple. If you didn't want that, then you shouldn't have overbulked. It's very clear cut, cause and effect. Do you feel like fish oil casing? That is a very nuanced topic. So are you looking, how complicated of an answer are you looking for? For many people, it may not improve heart health. Can it potentially in certain situations? Absolutely. So how's that for an answer? Oh, money, because it's been documented to cause less muscle growth in the lab. I mean, that's a pretty good reason why it's a bad idea. Do squats and deadlifts give you abs? Not necessarily, no. Money hungry, what do you mean? How should you avoid it? Don't do isolation movements before your big compounds. It's very simple. Don't curl before you do pull-ups. Don't do tricep extensions before you bench. Don't do leg extensions before you squat. It's perfectly easy to avoid pre-fatigue. Well, you need to train your abs and you need to get lean. Zelina, you didn't have abs at 140 because you weren't lean enough. But you weren't lean enough at 140 because you didn't have enough muscle to weigh more than that and be lean. Hence why you're going to have to put in a lot of consistent hard work. Very straightforward. Quit overbulking, get lean, and then lean bulk up for a few years. Sorry, it's just how it works, man. Because you guys get impatient. That's why you overbulk. That's why you cut too fast. Then you guys have to quit being so impatient and understand that you may have goals that are going to take you 5 or 10 years. Because he wants to get leaner for his wedding, right? He'll work on gains later. That's where he wants to be. You know, that's his thing. If he's happy and has his goals, then why do you care? Like, not everyone's goal is to be crazy jacked. Keep that in mind. How do I feel about the twin trends? I mean, I don't know. How am I supposed to feel about it? Abby is, let me check. That's a great question. Let me get his exact weight for you today, since he was in here. Abby is 174 pounds this morning. There you go. I just checked. How long should it take to hit 315 for 5 squats, bench 225? There is no exact. How long is a piece of string? If I'm going for a lean gain, will it take longer? Yes, it'll take a little longer. But do you want it to be strength gains because you got leverages from your fat, or do you want it to be strength gains from your muscle tissue? I mean, Chris, he's 174 pounds. I mean, unless somebody is short, how many 170-pound guys do you see who are jacked or like really thick? Only really short guys. So come on, I don't know what you're expecting. Right? I simply call him out on it. He says accountability. Anthony says, Dr. Blaha, not doctor, I've been running your 5x5 and my bench 5x5 is not moving due to my rotator cuff making biceps feel weird. What? I don't know. I don't know what's going on with your stuff. That's not enough to answer it. Is 3x5 enough with curls and pull-ups? Enough for what? To make some gains? Sure. Is it necessarily going to always be optimal? I don't know. Depends on how many exercises you're doing. No, I'm sat now. Have you ever seen Arnold's programs? They're literally 4+ hours a day, 6 days a week. You're talking about like 40 or 50 sets of muscle group per week with 12 workouts done per week. So no, I haven't tried that. Oh, well, his programs are all put out in his book. Like we all read it. My whole generation grew up on that book. How do you warm up on the squats? Like let's say for the box squats, I put one plate on the bar on each side and I do a rep. No, these are the same glasses I've had for years. I think these are like 3 years old. I should consider a new prescription. So I usually do a rep with a plate per side, then I do a rep with 2 plates per side, then a rep with 3 plates per side, then we start squatting. Right? That's pretty normal for me. I did that all the way up to that 500 the other day. What if I want to bring money? Then you need to do lots of biceps. I mean, what did I do for biceps today in my vlog? I'm trying to bring my biceps up more. The coldest. You mean you want to get jacked like Ronnie Coleman, who was more jacked than all the other competitors using tons of gear who competed against him? Do you really think it's a drug solution, or do you think it's a genetic solution and a work capacity? Have you ever seen the sort of stacks real pros admit to using later? Like how much gear do you think an average like Olympia contender uses? I mean, that's a serious question. Not even talk about contest stuff. Let's talk off season, just for growing. Yeah, exactly. That there's a reason people say that gear tolerance is actually one of the defining characteristics of a top pro bodybuilder. Like, can you take enormous amounts of gear without breaking under it, physically or psychologically? That's a big part of the genetic equation. Do you have a tolerance to the side effects? So for me, like out of the friends I've had who were competitive bodybuilders, I'll give you an example of a really aggressive stack that I've known. So I've had a friend and he was crazy jacked, competitive bodybuilder. So for his off-season base, 2.5 grams of test a week. He was using 1 gram of Primo a week. He was using 200 Tren every day, plus growth hormone, insulin, and IGF-1. And it was like 300 units of insulin every day, so on and so forth. The dude looked phenomenal. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. I also watched you do a 6-rep set with 585 on a deadlift as a bodybuilder. And I remember him also doing like a 5 or 6 rep set with 365 on the incline. So, I mean, he was strong as hell. Okay, Anthony, but are you trying to win the Mr. Olympia or not, dude? Make up your mind. So people are asking about pro bodybuilding. Like, okay, are you just trying to get jacked? Or are you trying to, you guys are talking about pro bodybuilder. Like, or do you want to be a serious pro bodybuilder? Okay, but let's come back over, Anthony. Do you care about living, or do you want to be a serious pro bodybuilder? Like you gotta, determine your priorities there. No, he is not alive, unfortunately. But let's come back over. Do you look like a pro bodybuilder? So what's your goals here, guys? You guys got to determine what's important to you. Now, living's important to me. So there's a reason when people are like, you're just using a bit of stuff, why don't you like a pro bodybuilder? I don't know, because I'm not using 2 grams of tren a week, So, I mean, no, Adam, there's no chance of that at all. I'm not willing to do it. I won't even use tren, to be honest. Like, I won't touch it. Like, even guys talking about 50, man, I'm going to do 50 milligrams of it. Chris, you says so unhealthy? I don't know about that. Do you have evidence of that? I mean, we're talking extreme abuse versus moderate use. I mean, I'm going to say moderate use is on par with having McDonald's twice a week. I'm going to say moderate use is still less than, say, a shot of whiskey once a week. It's still unhealthy to some extent. Maybe not as bad as a shot of whiskey every Friday, but still unhealthy. I mean, and we have to acknowledge that. The mental effects, I've documented that before, discussed it. I don't do tren these days. No desire to. How has lifting been different in your 40s, 20s, 30s? I don't know how to really answer that at this point. Yeah, dude, tren will test absolutely affect your sex drive and all sorts of stuff. But yeah. Wasn't 30 years ago, but I mean, it was over 20 years ago. I'm 48. I mean, I remember stuff from my 20s, but come on, guys. A lot of it gets kind of just clumped together at a certain point. I don't know if this happened when I was 22 or 26. Fuck if I know. Because it doesn't, things like that don't matter so much anymore when they start reaching a big enough time gap. I've messed with both, obviously. Hey, Copper, I have no idea what you're even getting at. Sorry. You just seem like a weirdo. Let's just get ready. What's the hardest COC group you closed? I don't remember. Either a 1.5 or a 2. I don't know. I have some of them. I just don't mess with them. They're tucked away somewhere. Might be buried in my garage. Jason, does alcohol amplify aggression for battle walks? I don't know. Hey, Chris, good for you, man. Jason, do you have thoughts on the Texas deadlift bar? You mean literally the bar I pulled on this week on camera? That's literally what my deadlifts were pulled on this week. Yeah, I like it. My hands don't like it, but I like it. It's pretty aggressive. You ever used the fat bar? I didn't use it this week. I used it last week for some stuff. All right, on camera. All right, guys, we're an hour deep. I think I'm going to wind this down. We're going to wind it down, so I hope it's been informative. And I will talk to you guys and gals next time.